slots in the region and have been firing on all cylinders and have already qualified themselves into Dallas. So let's get map number 1 underway. Final map of the region here on the ESL CS GG stream.
It's train.
It's train.
It's time.
They've been training for this.
Train. Beep beep. Do trains have a horn? Yeah, they go.
They do, yeah.
Just around dualies. Ooh.
This is fast, I like it.
Ooh, quickly traded. Okay, the double dualies are going to be doing a lot here already for FlyQuest. Ellie's at least trying to gain control back here, but Goosebeard is already firing it off. The bomb is down, and there's nowhere to run for Ghost.
Yeah, that's a difficult one. That bomb gets dropped in such an awkward situation. Ellie's making so much noise. They know that she's there, and it's going to be very difficult to retrieve it at that point. But a clean round for FlyQuest, and we'll see them coming into this with full force. No bomb plant, and limited on the kills does mean that Ghost Gaming have to take a bit of a backseat. We will see the flashbang coming out from Mirror actually passed over to Severlicious, who's going to be wielding all of their utility for this round. Looks like they're heading for a little bit of a similar approach here, straight up into the corridors.
I feel like there aren't any, that's some wall spans, FlyQuest. There aren't very cohesive call-outs here for Train quite yet. Vanessa here, waiting with a molly in hand, spots a player who's going to at least hold them out there. Call a couple over.
They trying to disrespect this, hoping that Ellie can open up some space from the catwalk, but is not going to be able to in close range with the MP9. They are in Vanessa's territory here, but the bomb is going to go down. It's going to be a little bit close. Goose does spot Biggie Kiki on the plant, isn't quite able to get the kill in time, and now just a couple of loose threads to clear up here. Sevenlicious hiding in the smoke, and Bibian, gonna try round the corner and find her. It's actually Marie that's gonna do the job. The defuse already been hopped on here as well, and it's clean, but it is a bomb plant for Ghost.
Absolutely. It's all they really needed to do there. The extra kill onto Vanessa is a bit of a treat on top.
We like our little treats.
We like
Sweet treat for the last of the season.
I had cheesecake today.
You can see there was a scout saved over it. They just dropped the scout in favor of just buying up another weapon on the side of FlyQuest.
You know, I like that, because if Ghost Gaming are able to come in this with their full buy AKs, they're not going to be completely disastrous. Or did they drop a scout? Is that what you're saying?
I think they had a scout save from last round that they dropped instead of using it. I think maybe my eyes deceive me, but as you say, I think this is absolutely the right move. Vanessa, ooh, quick headshot from Mirror. That's going to open up the site, and Goose, her signature position, pushing up over on this A site, trying to clear the space. Emmy's found that kill to equalize it, but I'm not 100% sure where the spread of this T site is right now. Goose has got a lot of information that there's no imminent danger towards A. But now back here, they crawl through up, dog.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard one to fight back on. Into this A site, Goosebeater and BB with the, oh, I like this boost. They're going to be able to see those heads walk through, but looks like sights are set on over towards the B site. Util sets going out. Flash molly smoke. Lots of flashes, actually.
Add another one to the pile.
Yeah, and Emmy's in a place where she is not flashed at all. Able to find one, maybe even a second, and she does. Bomb does get planted for Ghost, but nades are flying out for FlyQuest, and this retake is on.
Yeah, so much space already, but Sevenlicious, absolutely fiery kill, gets one. Isn't quite sure where to look. Too many heads to try find. Emanite's still firing, however. There's another one of those flashbangs to go peek out. It's good, but unfortunately baited out by the flash. And the defuse, they've just got to hop on it at some point. Emily, they keep on peeking out, but she does eventually go down. But look at that, whittled it down to the 1v1. And they've been so good at getting this bomb down, even with FlyQuest still on the site and holding on for dear life. It's not quite a round win, but they are definitely keeping FlyQuest humble. And I don't know if you've noticed what I just saw. I don't know if they've sold it. No? Have they? Double AWP? No, okay.
Double AWP?
Oh,
I got excited.
So did I.
quite
I was
excited
like,
there
I'm ready
for
for
a
this. This early?
Or, I guess you could put one looking T-Con in Ivy, and then one can go looking up in brown holes, or maybe peeking out of Ivy. Where did you double up on here?
Good question. Maybe you post someone over to watch Catwalk on B, and you
like-
have somebody in Ivy holding for A mate, maybe?
Maybe.
Because FlyQuest, they're pretty,
interesting.
they leave Ivy and Lane alone. They don't even really
Yeah.
look at that side of the map, because in all fairness, not many people tend to go there. As you said, meta is pretty much to rush literally anywhere else.
Yeah, brown holes or T-Con. Gotta keep that control of any of the entry points. In Ivy, it's very, very far away, at least from
Either side.
elite site, or like you have to really rotate around to get there.
But now we're seeing a situation where they have taken a lot of space and might have to get a little bit wary here. Emmy flashed, trying to just get any sort of angle to work with here. Biggie Kiki firing through the smoke. None of the bullets are going to hit, however. And Emmy just waiting for someone. There's the quick adjust. Going to peek for some more as well. Has to dodge the Molotov. Look at this. Ellie trying to find anyone, and there's so much damage done. Emily firing wildly. There's so little HP to go around. There's the first spamming through the smoke. Gets the second. Low HP on Vanessa. And Bibian as well. But Maria slipped the net.
Taking this very, very slow. Oh, and then Marie's able to peek out. Grit one. Hiki does trade here onto BB. AK versus Galil. Oh, so much damage on Marie. Switch on over. Well, you just to keep her safe, and can't even pick up the bomb with that.
But it's all that it needs. Just desperately hoping maybe that she's rotated, that she can find a window here. But Marie, in position, she knows that the timer is not on her head. It comes round to the corner, and there it is. One bullet's all that's needed, but the adjust, it's perfect. And a round on the board for Ghost, and all off the back of so many low HP bars.
The Galil's winning. Galil's OP is what it seems, and honestly, I completely agree with that. It just felt like FlyQuest, they got very, very trapped there in back yellow, especially with the Molly. They were kind of all on top of each other, not really using... There was no way that you could jump up on to the train without feeling like, all right, it's done. But now FlyQuest, I think to force buy into this, a couple of rifles. The Scout finally coming out for Emmy. There we go, Scout. Maybe sensing a shadow around the corner and just getting a little loose with this, trying to find a couple of opening kills, maybe to throw a weapon on over to a teammate.
Look how aggressive they're getting with this control, trying to catch Seven Licious out with utility, and they do in fact succeed, but the issue is they've vacated site, and that gives Mira the opportunity to work here. Smoke comes out, and they've now got to reposition, but Vanessa on top of the train gets one, firing gets three.
And the bomb.
What a shot to end it as well from Emmy. We talked about the Scout, and an eco round from nowhere puts them right back on the board, and Ghost Gaming, their economy stumped, and probably scratching their heads a little bit about where that went.
This is insane.
It's just so clean.
The fact
that Vanessa gets three,
Yeah, that is insane. And that just goes to show you how good the 5-7 is. I'm a 5-7 truther. Oh, Mira, ouch. In the flames, and just gonna get taken out by Emmy that early in the round. Gonna leave Seven Licious alone over in T-Con, and see it. BB's getting hungry again, going very close up. Ghost Gaming trying to figure out what they want to do here, just with Glocks, with a couple of utility. Oh, they actually do have some upgraded pistols as well. But it's gonna be hard. FlyQuest, they have such control right here.
Yeah, there's a difficult situation ahead. Now, the The fence is fairly far back, and we've seen them able to get a lot of bomb plants off of that utility, allowing them that gap into sight to plant, but they're not accounting for Vanessa again. Gets 2. Are they going to let her get another 3K here? It's close. The Molotov's burning at Ellie's feet, and there's another one going in. The floor is lava. She is surrounded. She's run on down by Goose. And now Emily has just heard all of this chaos go. Once their smokes fade, she's in a whole world of trouble. Does get a lot of damage onto Goose, but it's going to be no kills for them. And a 5th round on the board for FlyQuest here.
It's looking all good. Looking all gravy for my train mashed potatoes.
Honestly,
Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
It sounds like a very sort of like English football thing. There's a phrase called
it's looking all gravy for my country fried steak and my mashed potatoes.
I feel like I'm being insulted here. But I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
fine,
did the
it's
Cockney
fine.
accent version of my British accent. I apologize.
It just
I'm
happens
sorry.
sometimes when you cast it. I haven't
just
slipped into an
happened.
American accent just yet. It's going to happen one of these days.
One day. One day.
Oh, one day left of this season as well.
Oh,
So if it's going to happen, it's got to happen now.
Oh, the train. I can hear it. Train somewhere.
On the map train. They aptly named this
There's
map,
the
didn't they?
horn. I guess. I mean, I haven't noticed any trains.
They're pretty incognito.
Anyways, Ghost Gaming with their full AKs this round, and a disconnect. I do believe that it's early enough that we may get a round restart here. There was
No
not any
damage has been
utility
done,
damage
yeah.
or anything. Yeah, okay.
Given that everyone sort of sat still, I'm having a feeling potentially maybe might have that called, which
Looks
is
like they're
unfortunate. We've seen it happen a
FlyQuest going
couple
back
of
to-
times. Did you see the clip from the other day with, I'm trying to remember which team it was, where they got body blocked on Anubis trying to plant and then the disconnect. And it was like a 1v4 that they fumbled or something.
Oh,
I'll have to find you the clip. I'm trying to
Yeah, I'll
remember
have
which
to look
team
at
it
that.
was.
I'll have to.
There you go. Looks like a little bit of a server reset. Everyone gonna be getting back in and rebuying on up here. Difficult situation there. CS2 moment. It happens. Looks like everyone's back and ready though. Gives them a little bit of a chance to, refresh. Although you never want to be running and getting stagnant here as well. FlyQuest, they're on a bit of a roll. Hopefully this will not deter their momentum. Ghost Gaming, hopefully everyone back in the server able to fire on all cylinders and ready to go. Got all AKs here, all utility out. And this time, looks like we are ready and raring to go. Keep our fingers crossed.
Something interesting is that Goosebreeder using a Galil.
Out of choice.
Keeping that 4K in the bank, just like I was saying. And, very up close and personal. Mira, she's going to win that battle. Disconnect is not going to be keeping her there. But, a little bit of a body block is going to allow Bibian and Vanessa just to get into Brown Halls and just make it a blender. 7licious and Ellie left alone over in T-Con. Bomb is down, and there's really no way back into this round without some brute force.
Yeah, difficult situation. Emily pinched it from both sides, but had the swivel there. If she managed to get the second, whole different round that we're on about here. But you're right, brute force is absolutely going to be needed, and they've got so much information dotted around the map here. They've heard absolutely nothing over towards A and over towards Lane and Ivy. 7licious creeping on out. There's going to be the spray that they need and all the info just to start converging on this position. You see Marie start moving forward to meet them. And Ellie needs to find this pick here. Actually going to peek the corner completely dry, yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to tippy toe in there. And 7licious has gotten a lot of space over on A, but really they all care about guarding this bomb. Marie able to find her out. Now all down to Ellie here. The flashes seem to be good. Just need to get the headshots here, at least 2. Ooh,
Elbows.
big damage. Oh, and the second. Is she gonna expect Marie around the corner? And she doesn't. FlyQuest, tooth and nail, able to find that one on their side.
If Marie had been tucked any closer to the inside wall there, that could very well have been just a spray transfer by accident, hit the third, round done. But yeah, that's certainly, you get a little bit tense in moments like this, but I love this from Marie, just the trigger discipline to wait for a second, not to, you know, maybe get a couple of shots onto the back, have her spin around, shoot her in the head as she ducks behind the electrical box there, but good stuff coming out from FlyQuest to keep it calm, even if it's maybe a little bit messy in some of these closer situations, but looking to tighten this on up, and it's just the Galils coming out here for Ghost as Gooseberry just passed over that orb to Emmy.
She's keeping that money for some reason. Oh, Beyond still. She's taking so much space here in T-Con. Ghost Gaming had to completely leave. Now just separated by a smoke. I'm gonna look for space elsewhere over in Brown Halls. Hot Dog. Gonna try and sandwich in the FlyQuest players, blindly firing through the smoke. BB's able to find one. Is gonna get traded out, but clean trades here as Goose Breeder's able to mow down two of her own. Left in 2v2. Health is on the side of Ghost Gaming.
They are looking to head over towards B, and they've got a whole load of space to work with here as well, so free plant on their hands, and it's now what FlyQuest do with the retake. They've got a flash and an HE. The health not quite low enough that HE is going to be too worrying just yet, but decision has to be made what they want to do. There is definitely the money if they want to go for this, but they're looking to pincer from both sides here, clamp down on the map, and it's going to be Goose Breeder taking this first fight, and Ellie can hear.
Ooh, snappy shot there. Vanessa now left alone, could be able to get timinged here as they are all on the back left side of the site. It's planted for them too. She can't just defuse this. She has to run out, maybe find a couple of kills on her way.
Ooh, just about is allowed to exit there, but health is going to be low. Ellie actually in a little bit of the splash damage range there, but nothing too scary. In a second round for Ghost. And it has been this B site that has been FlyQuest's weakness. It's,
you know, my weakness is
good
ESL Impact.
Yep.
Testing with Affinity.
Honestly, this season's been incredible. Absolutely love casting with you, Apples. Absolutely love seeing the Galils coming out as well. You see, I'm a Galil, I don't know how to say apologist as well, but I've been a big fan of them for a while.
You're a supporter. They're a really, really good weapon. They're the same kind of fire rate as the M4A4. It's like 2 bullets to kill. Like, I really like the Galil. I usually opt for it sometimes, other than the AK, but... Okay. Advantageous position for Emmy just to get a heavy hitter for Ghost out of the gate. Emily down. Mira having to pick up the pieces here, but Bibion's so close. Ooh, a dink, but Mira's gonna find that one. That is hers.
Who's hiding here, tucked in, could be peeked from any and all angles. Manages to find Ellie, but the trade is instantaneous. Marie now also hiding the Molotov. Actually doesn't quite go deep enough to affect her, so she can just hold this position, but Mira's waiting for Emmy, can hear everything. There's going to have to super quick round the corner. Toying with her food here, goes for the peek, but unfortunately unable to find the shot. Gonna be Kiki finds the pick, and now Marie has to just back away. Their money no longer in a good position, and there is a kit available. There's a lot of utility on Vanessa, but it's whether they want to commit with this. Goes, tries to bait out the defuse, does, and unfortunately it all backfires. Vanessa not really sure what to do, finds one kill. Has to just get out here, picks up the A4, runs away, but Piggy Kiki's chasing here. Different directions, though.
Really, really good round for Piggy Kiki. I feel like she got a lot of very impactful kills for FlyQuest. Only 2, but they were ones that got them the site, got them the positions to make them not be able to get that retake. She was able to get the kill on Emmy coming in through Z, even though Emmy, she saw Mira just trying to get this, but see, she was able to find that headshot quite first, and now over in Z against Marie as well. So we'll see how it goes here. FlyQuest on another eco, and Ghost Gaming a little bit more wind beneath their feet, I would say, and up on Emily.
That's what we like to see. Finally being able to pull out a little bit more of this arsenal. And it looks like Marie's going to go for a bit of a different fight here. But even though there's not really been too much contest over in this part of the map, they're still being wary. They're still doing their due diligence. And Marie has not really got much to defend this with. Tucks in nicely, but expecting
She's
it.
really tucked in. Okay. That could have gone completely differently. Maybe with a 5-7.
We do like the 5-7s.
I feel like FlyQuest trying to stay in pairs at least with a partner. We stay around Vanessa. A little bit of chip damage onto Ellie here, and this is an interesting one. FlyQuest is just kind of hiding around them, moving where they're moving, not fighting, and now sensing that they're all going to be. They are all here. Goosebreeder with the first kill with a USP. They've completely read this correctly. This is really interesting.
Look at Emmy. They don't even really clear her, but Mira, there's a 2k and low HP for Goosebreeder. That HE grenade. Oh, it's getting close, but not quite on top of her head. Jumps on round. The flash is good and actually distracts Mira more so than Goose. And now Vanessa left in a 1 versus 2. Knows where both of them are now, dancing around the bomb site. Waiting. There's the peek coming out from 7licious, and they've got it on lockdown. The trade spacing has been immaculate.
Absolutely. That would have been a crazy round for FlyQuest to win. And gonna take attack here for them just to figure out, all right, we've lost 3 rounds in a row. Our money is not at a very comfortable spot here. Always take it after a pistol round or questionable round here. Make sure you know how to do what you're doing with a full buy here. But I'm gonna be real, it's kind of crazy. Goose got 2 kills with the USP. FlyQuest moment.
FlyQuest moment indeed.
Update on the other games. Do you want to update?
How's the other game going?
Games? So Black Mold versus Supernova Comets. Currently 10-2 with Supernova Comets in the lead. Lumen versus Nyx Empire. A little bit closer than I was expecting. 7-5 at the half. And then Nouns versus Mega Juners. It's 10-2. I think with Mega Juners winning.
That's some spicy scorelines. We might have some upsets in the final week. Now, back into our match, and the Molotovs are flying. And there it is, Goosebreeder loves to play this advanced position on A, loves to hide behind the electrical box and gets 2. Bibion gets the immediate trade to avenge her as she goes down. 7licious, the adjust is perfect, still alive, still kicking. The Molotov to try force her out, forces her into yet another fight, and she's still going. And now Marie, slinking round the back, is going to pop on out and help out here. But Molotov's going to block them off and allow 7licious push a little bit further here. But is she ready for Emmy? No, she is not.
Only that Molly hit that would have flushed 2 FlyQuest players out of the corner. Now Emily has to take this all, uses her last bit of utility here. A little bit of damage onto Emmy, but FlyQuest, they know exactly where she's at. They're gonna play this smart, but okay, gonna let Emily get another kill here. Emmy left alone, just M4 in hand, and able to find that headshot. That would have been a clip for Emily. We've seen her clutch a lot of times, but kind of hard when you're just op 1v3ing.
Yeah, it's been very difficult situations that this has come down to. The clutches haven't quite been as crispy clean and as readily available to go as maybe you'd like to see, and that we see in the stats and see reflected in, you know, the 1v1 win rates potentially. But final round of the half, here we go. 7-5 half would be amazing for Ghost, but I think 8-4, even that they take. Mira peeks out. Piggy Kiki goes down to the flames, so it's 2-4 in the opening trades, and look how much space FlyQuest have taken. They have suffocated Ghost out of this.
Completely. They are all up in brown holes, nowhere really to run or hide. Ellie is a T-Con here, is able to kind of get some space, but there is a smoke blocking them. They have to regroup here, and fortunately, it's the last round. They're not working with much weaponry, just a Deagle, Tech 9, and a Mac 10. They do have kind of a lot of utility, though. They have 2 mollies, a couple of flashes, and a smoke, so if they're able to utilize these, it's going to be worth it. They just got to get through this crossfire.
It's a very difficult crossfire to break as well. Goose is going to be the one to take first contact. Vanessa just has to wait as they run into her. She's mowing them down. It's so much damage, but actually they find both kills here. Did Sevenish just see Emmy and just run back? There it is. There's the peak. There's the first. Emmy backs away. Sevenish, 16 HP. Last left alive, running towards that bomb site, but doesn't quite have the bomb. Has to go back and pick it up. And now actually choosing to head over towards A, potentially, where Emmy lies in wait.
She's waiting for it to cross. Smoke is going to do something, but Emmy is able to find that last shot, and we're looking at an 8-4 half. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Press play.
Welcome back, wonderful people. 8-4 half is where we're going to be picking back off here. FlyQuest Red, lovely start, slowed it down a little bit towards the end of the first half, but they're back and they are swinging. But unfortunately, Evolution swings harder, and there is the first pick to them. Goose Breeder already managed to tug all the way through. Emily maybe going to be a little bit jump scared in a second, but there they are, jump directly into Goose. There's the pick, but there's the trade from Ellie. Now Goose firing away, gets another one, but Piggy, Kiki, 2 in a row to clean up the rest of the round, and it's done in the blink of an eye.
All right. Easy peasy. Pistol round for Ghost Gaming to win that. You can trade pistol rounds. It's a good one. It's going to get them into a good start here for their CT side, just to start getting some rounds up against FlyQuest. possibly making this a tight game. Full save except for a flash on Marie, and they are going the Brown Hall's approach as well.
Okay.
Slowly sneaking in. Goose Speeder just with the P250, it looks like.
This is the quiet one. Mira's Molotov here could cause so much damage as well, just waiting for the right second, but there it is. In exchange, sees the flashbang, and fully flash, they still end up peeking. It's a bit messy, but Molotov takes down one, Mira takes down the other two with the gun. Emily's found one of her own, and Marie trying desperately to find this kill. It's so messy, runs out of bullets, and it's a good attempt, but Mira, what a 4K to start off that round.
Update on the other matches. Black Mold versus Supernova Comets. The first map is over. A win 13-2 for Supernova Comets. And on the other side, Lumen versus Nyx Empire. Nyx Empire is winning against them right now, 10-5.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's big. That would be huge for Nyx that they're able to get their first series win, but it'll be incredible if it's against Lumen.
Kiki, there's the first. Mira desperately trying to put some space between her and the opponents, but actually FlyQuest, they ease off the gas for a second. They've lost a player and they've got to readjust now, and it does look like they're still hovering around here, hoping maybe to punish a little bit of aggression, but no one is willing to give them this fight.
FlyQuest just looking for space elsewhere. Have to make do of this buy that they have here. Flash in for Mira just to get a little bit or visibility, but does not catch any FlyQuest players up top. Ooh, Vanessa spots ahead. Spots some bullets her way. Is gonna fall back from this equation. Gonna let Goose Spirit kind of go a little bit interesting here, but I don't think she sees or senses Pikiki around the corner and able to find her. That is a huge kill.
Yeah, now Vanessa really needs to find some picks to alleviate any of the pressure here. There's the Molotov into defender from Piggy Kiki. The drop on down, but has to find Mira. There's the first. Now, as that Molotov wears off, the rest of the team is there to support her to keep this bomb plant safe, and they have to be very wary. Emmy's going to have to quickly tuck on in here before she gets caught. Piggy Kiki, is she expecting to get jump scared? No, but she still finds the kill anyway. Runs on down, and Marie can hear this stomping. Runs, and there it is. Jumps around the corner, gets one, turns around immediately. There's a second now. Ellie slowly creeping round. And the issue that they have is Marie's quite far away from this situation. Trying to bait out peek here. Not spotting anything. Has to know potentially catwalk's an option. But there it is. Not really looking back turned. And a 9th round to FlyQuest. Getting themselves on the board in this half.
Really smart reposition there from Marie. Last information gained by Ellie was on site and over in that con area. So it was planted for her, able to go up towards the top catwalk, and bingo, bango, bongo. We have an op for Emmy.
We do. We've also got a timeout as well, which I like this being called. They've won the round. They've got the AWP for the first time, and this gives them a little bit of a second to not only formulate a plan for this coming round, make sure that they can keep these weapons in hand, but looking at the long-term economy, long-term game plan as well, because they're nearing double digits. They're nearing potentially the end of the map for them if they can keep up the streak of dominance we saw in the first half. But they're lacking quite a bit of utility across Goose and Emmy here.
They don't need it.
Exactly. everyone's been dry swinging everything anyway, so.
They really have, and it looks like very quick decision. All right, Vanessa is going to go in for a lot more utility there instead of an AK. Is going to sacrifice a little bit of early visibility, but Emmy is very close up and personal here over in T-Con. Just going to see if she can catch anyone with that AWP. FlyQuest, they're taking it slow, not showing their cards quite yet. Not much utility really even to spread, but gonna throw a couple things in. Goose Spitter is gonna get flashed in over and towards Pop Dog. Nothing's connecting. Ghosts are hiding, and hiding well.
The elusive ghosts. But, yep, I think it's really smart of them. They've managed to whittle down a minute off the clock already and not shown anything whatsoever. Mira's taken a little bit of damage, but everybody else on the map, unknown entities, and it looks like they just want to hit this A site, but look how many people are here waiting for them already. Emmy with the first pick, Piggy Kiki swings out, but Bibian has got her covered, and now they keep on going, but their numbers starting to fall. Ellie holding on, flashed off sight, misses Goose crossing onto connector, might still be able to catch Vanessa, spots the shoulder, isn't able to find the kill, however, and now 2 versus 5. There's a couple of low HP bars, and Emily's going to take down Bibian, but spam through the smoke's going to give away her location. Goosebreed is going to capitalize, and now just Emily sat here waiting, and I think probably going to want to try hold on to this AWP, because there's not going to be much else for the team next round.
Yeah, and it looks like Goosebreed is already hunting, or at least just looking around over at Ivy and Z, trying to spot her. Emily can hear this. Flash coming out, double flash. Posted on the angle. Oh, the bullet misses. And now Goose is getting up close. Gonna take care of it.
I love the run forward there. Knows that they've missed the first shot. They've got a tiny window whilst that AWP reloads and resets. And to push up closer and just spam through the wall instead of risking taking that fight and having the scope just about aligned enough is beautifully played on like a micro element there from Goosebreeder.
Absolutely. She's been so aggressive, and it's paid off. Paid off greatly. Now, Bibian very aggressively able to run all the way into this A site. Vanessa going to get a very early pick on the Pikiki, just by molly damage, and it's just pistols that FlyQuest are fighting up against, but USPs could do a bit of damage. Just depends on where you place them, and Mira looks like she wants to do a lot of damage with her pistol. At least she's able to find a 1. That's a nice trade and a pickup of a Galil. Could be able to disrupt a little bit more on FlyQuest with their economy.
Yeah, and as bomb goes down, that timer's really starting to weigh on them. Mira, Ellie, not much left between them. A flash and limited weaponry, and Emmy's got the angle already. Just Mira left now, maybe hoping for an exit. And will not probably even be awarded that luxury. There's no kit, so no opportunity for a last-minute Hail Mary jump onto the bomb here. Just has to sit and wait this out and hope maybe she can find a consolation prize, a participation trophy, but even that's not looking certain. Goes for a little bit more information, and there we go, just backs away, and unfortunately, nothing really to show for it.
The Galil.
True,
It's a weapon they don't have to buy. That's more utility that they get to keep. Now 11 for FlyQuest. Bank is looking good, and a tech timeout for Ghost Gaming at the right spot. It's their last full buy that could even be possible here. A couple extra thousand on a lot of these players, but it's going to be hard kind of to scrape it together.
It feels like Ghost Gaming for this entire series have been at this weaponry disadvantage. They've just had a deficit of money, even when they've been putting rounds together, you know, to close out the first half. It really hasn't felt that they've had the opportunity to have many proper full buy rounds coming out here. So they've been having to work with these FAMAS, or FAMI, I'm not 100% sure what the plural of FAMAS is.
That's
the
what Dart
MP9s.
said, or Mike said. Mike says it's FAMI.
Yeah, I'm willing to follow Mike on this. I trust him a little bit. He's a bit of a veteran, so he could just be having us on here, but I'll trust him.
FAMI sounds like it's like a deep sea creature. That's just the yeah, it's fun.
Ooh, spam through's not quite gonna find Emmy, but the Molotov's gonna tickle at her toes, and Emily looks like she wanted to try capitalize off the back of that, but already managed to get herself out of danger. And look, Ian Brownhall's all ready, and Mira's waiting with this Molotov. If they can find a nice little headshot here, single bullet to the dome just to stop this being thrown, but even that, not certainty, because Piggy Kiki's coming along to back up.
They're really stacked in here. Up top, and gonna have to throw a lot of utility here onto this B site to disrupt it. Very you go. Starts to fly. Molly comes out. Mir is close and personal, but Goose is going to find that kill first. Pikiki is going to hide here, but just not quick enough with these AKs and these flashes. Emmy here to pick it up over towards Pop Dog. Molly out just to keep 7licious away. Ellie's able to find one on sight. Goose Speeder down for the count, but at this point, it looks like they're backing away. They need these weapons in the next round. Maybe be able to pick up a couple FAMASs, I guess, in the next round to be able to keep them away. But it's going to be a very slow crawl for them, just how FlyQuest have been dominant.
Yeah, I think slow crawl is a great way to put it because it completely contrasts what we're seeing from FlyQuest here. We're seeing, Goose Breeder wide swinging these corners, just Ferrari peak, pedal fully to the metal. And Ghost, whilst they've been holding for these angles, they've had the right ideas, and most of the time they've had the right reads as well. They just haven't been able to account for Goose throwing herself round the corner at an angle they weren't quite expecting, with a ferocity that no one was really, expecting to see coming out either.
I like train. Honk honk.
I like trains. That is a core fundamental of the internet.
What's really interesting to me is that Ghost Gaming chose this map.
Yeah.
They had a couple of really strong rounds over on their T side, but FlyQuest, they've been absolutely dominant here. Flash out. Gonna get onto site. Goose Speeder may have slipped the net just a little bit, but a lot of these players are just sitting in smoke. 7licious gets one traded out quickly. Just trying to find these CTs. They're all hiding here. Flash is gonna help, but they're able to find them first. And a second. All down to Bibian and Vanessa.
And that bomb is in such an uncomfortable position to try pick up. Desperately trying to find angles on both sides, and that's going to be the round secured for them. Bomb dropped, and luckily Ghost Gaming able to swarm and keep them at bay. Slap their hand away from the cookie jar for one more round at least, but it needs to be another 5 in a row here. But the ferocity that we've seen coming out here, that's what we need to see them keep up. They have the weaponry, they have the utility, they've got everything they need to keep going here. We need to just see them try hold off FlyQuest. They win this round, and even then FlyQuest money's still in a pretty decent spot, so there's going to be no leniency, no freebie rounds here.
Flash out, Molly's out, just to try and keep Ghost Gaming out of bay. But the 3 kills are going straight for Ghost Gaming. At least Marie is able to find some footing here. Just 1 kill, but Mira very quickly is able to pop out of Pop Dog and all down to Marie. 1v4. She needs the ace, but Pikiki's right there and ready. Looks like Ghost Gaming, they have a lot more fire underneath their feet right now, and it's looking good.
That round felt a little bit messy, a little bit like they jumped the gun there. They knew they wanted to go for something fast, but the issue they have is that Goose doesn't find that initial kill. There's a Molotov that's kind of sort of a worry in the corner of their eye and in the back of their minds. But it felt very rushed and not particularly cohesive. But those are the rounds that you sweep under the rugs. Unfortunately, not much to go on here, but we've seen the Force Buys and what FlyQuest can do with them, so I'm not willing to count them down and out just yet. But Ghost Gaming, they've been ordered just a second to ease off the pressure. There's the flash dodge, but unfortunately, Ellie run down. There's going to be a weapon picked up as well. Vicky Kiki trying to find something, but doesn't. Ooh. And they've all found their marks, and now it's a 2v5, and this has spiraled. The catastrophizing in the back of their minds, it's come to life.
Bomb gets planted. Mira smoked off once again. Now Emily is going to be an Ivy, is able to see someone's back. It's not going to shoot quite yet, but she may get cut off here as Marie has slipped the net. Able to find it. Now Mira needs an ace to win this, needs to keep this map going, but she is still covered in smoke. Picked up weapons for almost all of the players on FlyQuest. The bomb is ticking. Not much space left. She has to get a couple kills. Able to find one, a little bit of a dink, but it's Goose Speeder, the Ferrari peak with the Tech 9, is able to win it. FlyQuest take first map.
That is... When I said we can see them do these crazy things with the ecos, they always come to play. They heard us and they provided. And
So they have to have something here, have to have something against FlyQuest. So I'm excited for them, but I'm also very questionable. It could go either way, but I feel like FlyQuest, they have a lot more experience here. It's gonna be a brawl to the finish, and it's gonna be on Dust 2.
it is. I think it's interesting you say that, though, because the only maps that we've really seen FlyQuest lose have been Dust 2. They've lost it twice this season. Twice out of the 3 that they've played it, and I don't think they're going to be eager to make it a third. So here we go, kicking off the pistol round. And usually we've got one person with a kit. It's going to be Bibi on this round, and it's going to be Marie, however, taking this tunnels control early on. It's Messi gets the first. Dink on the second. There it is, closing up the third, potentially coming her way, and there it is.
That's a bomb down.
Yeah, they've got Emily pinned in mid as well. Not really much she can do here. Smoke's not going to cover all of the way to the exit, and Goose is watching this.
Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Kiki, if she gets a kill here, it's going to be incredible, and she does. She gets Emmy. That is at least a little bit of pressure alleviated away from Emily. She's able to find one of her own, but FlyQuest, they're going to start running up mid at this point, just going to try and get these kills, gun them down, and all they got to worry about is Kiki on Cat. She finds another kill of her own and a third, and now 1v1. She finds the 4K to win the round for Ghost Gaming. First round on the board, and it's the around the world through long. She's able to find it.
At every single point of that, it looked like Ghost Gaming, they were hanging in the balance. It was a matter of seconds, a matter of HP until that round was over. The bomb was dropped down towards tunnels. It looked pretty hopeless, but the fact that they all peek one by one and allow her to isolate every fight, she gets every single kill. It's perfect, and they're looking to immediately capitalize on this. End up mid. Emily's got the scout. She looks away at just the wrong second to miss the timing, and Goose has already slipped ahead. Biggie Kiki's there with the AK to try find a bit more. Emily's got one. Biggie Kiki's found two. There's a dink and a kill from Bibian, but Emily waiting to punish. They do run her on down, and suddenly this is starting to get a little bit messy with a mirror pokes her head on round, sprays down one, and Ellie's got the second. It gets a little bit dicey, but under wraps nonetheless.
Not too expensive. Only going to be 2 kills that FlyQuest are able to find that one. Could have been another insane FlyQuest pistol to win against Ghost Gaming, but they win the conversion. They keep the rifles, and Galils are going to be coming in.
Third round AWP coming up
my
for Emmy, however.
God.
This is fiery. It's a missed shot, and that's going to be the signal that she's there, that she is here to play. Marie actually going to fall way back here, lining up the utility to try stop them pushing up any further through long, but that doors control is well and truly lost, and now just has to try hold on to Cars. Whilst the rest of her team, they're poking and prodding. They've not heard anything at all. I like that Vanessa and Bibian are getting a little bit aggressive towards mid. They might catch out Biggie Kiki, but actually Trouble's brewing a paradise elsewhere on the map.
Oh yeah, Piggy Kiki gets this kill. That's gonna completely set FlyQuest off on a question mark tangent, but through the smoke, Emmy's able to find one. Ghost Gaming, they're not gonna be going through it with this, with all of their numbers, and a quick shot from Marie's gonna take it down just a little bit more. Galils have to sing just a bit, and going through the smoke is how you get the kills, is what it seems like, and trades are there, all down to Piggy Kiki, the lurker from last round who was able to win the 1v3. Can she do it again with the AK this time? Everyone's going to be looking at her, and it's Emmy able to find it.
It's a difficult situation there. Biggie Kiki finds one kill, but the issue is finds it just too close to when the execute over towards A happens, right? If the execute over towards A is, 10 seconds later than this kill is found, maybe that's when FlyQuest start to peel off some of the rotates. But the fact that that kill is found at the same time that FlyQuest see a barrage of utility, they know that there's no danger, they know there's just a single solitary flanker. And so they don't redirect their attention. They focus on A, so it's an all-out brawl. And suddenly you've got a player that's too far away to contribute. But now, talking of contributing, Vanessa, fully blinded through the smoke, gets one. And actually forces them to back away up in towards mid. And there's nobody really watching Catwalk. They've been given a lot of respect here.
Kiki on a flank as well again. I guess not really a flank now, as Ghost Gaming's going to meet up with them. Emmy, oh my God, a Colette through the door, able to find Emily and Ellie. That is disastrous here. BB on very close up, is able to hear all of this movement. A flash in, but the MAC-10 wins the race. Emmy's there once again just to hold them back for now. It's all down to the MAC-10 that could, but she cannot this round.
That's an interesting one. I don't know if the Piggy Kiki's drop wasn't heard because of the Molotov, potentially. But yeah, the fact that they managed to get a kill there is quite nice. It's not really in a position that they can do too much from that. Of course, they've lost too many players, but Ghost Gaming, then I say they're keeping FlyQuest pretty humble. FlyQuest hasn't having to be buying too many guns each round, but yeah, it's difficult start when Emmy gets that collat just straight away. And here they are. Look at this aggression through tunnels. They're meeting them, not even letting them take a foot towards B.
Yeah, expecting this eco rush. Nade is going to slow them down, and Ghost Gaming looks like they're trying to wait out the aggression, see if FlyQuest gets interested in something else, and could get interested over in 7licious' territory. 7lish. Oh my God, Emmy's able to see her just by her arm. Now the solo flank is gone. Flash in is not going to blind anything, and definitely not Goose Breeder. She cleans up a 4K there.
That crossfire is brutal. I also feel a little bit bad for Vanessa there, who doesn't walk away with a single kill, but has racked up, 4 assists.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that crossfire, the fact that you stun them from heading towards B so early, and then they just sit and wait, knowing that they've not headed towards A. They just post up here. There's nowhere else on the map that they can really push and that they've really got any eyes on. So lovely stuff coming out here from FlyQuest to take the initiative, to take the space, and to hold it and not relinquish even a meter.
Yeah, they're reading their moves before they even happen. This molly towards lower right when 7licious throws a flash. A nade in response as well. Flash does get her off the angle. A little bit of tickles of damage from Ghost Gaming. Or for Ghost Gaming, rather. Minute left in the clock, and really they only have door control here, but it's the smokes. Oh my God, those are some insane smokes. It's going to be brute force up catwalk here. Crossfire, Gooseberry is going to meet them first. Marie's going to be able to pounce, but the trade is good. Mira and Emily come victorious out of this equation, and now Emmy could get pinched here. Kind of out in the open and long. Gonna have to hide. She wants a pick first, but okay. That's a nice headshot. That is the up or down, and FlyQuest left with 2 players. That's a call to save.
Absolutely. There is nothing you can really do to get yourself back into this. Too far from the situation, not enough utility, and, they've got too much, too expensive equipment to even risk looking at this, but luckily for them, Ghost Gaming, the money for them's in an unstable position right now, so they're not going to want to overcommit to trying to hunt for this. You can see Piggy, Kiki, and Mira having a little bit of a nosy over towards spawn, potentially, making sure that they have an exit path at the very least, but this is going to be a live and let live situation for all sides, and Ghost tying up the scoreboard 3-3, keeping this competitive early.
Now, money looking good on the side of Ghost Gaming. 7licious really the only one that's going to have to rebuy here. Yop going back on over to Emily as he picked up some weaponry from FlyQuest. But, look at that money spread they got. They could rebuy into this, and the Yop is also going to go back in the hands of Emmy. Okay, yeah, I'm glad that we saw that shot, because that was insane from Emmy's POV.
Unreal, yeah. It has the angle, has everything lined up, and it's like, nope.
Nope.
Dead, straight away, straight in the ground.
Bye.
See you next round, but yeah. It's good, and I like also, we said one of our main worries last map was that Ghost Gaming really didn't get the opportunity on either side to have consistent full buys, either consecutively or just in general, really. So the fact that we're getting them on these full utility pelts, full AKs with the AWP available as well for Elite early on, and that we're seeing it consistently, it's giving them more of a fighting chance to stay in this, because of course they need this map if they want to see a third and take away this series.
Okay, this is an interesting boost with an op there from Emmy and Goose. Excited to see how that turns out, but BB gonna be, oh, that's a view, and that would have been an insane kill to get if it hit, but the molly in response just to keep Ghost out of lower tons, and that's just the bomb. There's 3 players over towards long, and okay, go ahead.
The issue with this is that I love the setup from FlyQuest, but the issue is that Ghost Gaming have not got any presence long. If they'd pushed long, that setup kind of starts to fall apart a little bit. But now they're getting the long push and everyone can just rotate immediately over.
And the bomb has joined them over at long as well.
Out in the open, needs to get the first, has the backup of Goose as well here. Luckily it's going to be trades, but that's all they're going to be able to get here. But Goose holds down the trigger, gets 2, and Marie from afar, ever the savior, and now Ellie, last left alive, so far from the bomb. They know that there was utility thrown over towards B. They know that she is that fake presence, and now they can cut her off in the middle. And there it is.
There it is. It's interesting here because it feels like Ghost Gaming, they have ideas that are good. Like, if they executed 3 players long, got all 3 rotates on over to the A site, left, if FlyQuest like left 1 player over on B, they could have gotten a free bomb plant there.
Yeah, true.
If they got the opening kill. That's a nade.
I was about to say, eats that nade, but again, they're not too worried necessarily. They know that it's always just Ellie throwing util in. They're gonna go back and forth, exchange, draw a little bit of util out from both sides here, which definitely benefiting Ghost, because it's a 2-for-1 on this utility exchange. And now over towards A they head. There have been no eyes on mid this round, so they've got to have an idea where they're heading. They've got lovely position from Marie, so they know that long's cut off, so now all attention from Emmy and from Goose can focus towards this cat push.
See if she's able to get this. Smoke's gonna go down towards CT. No cat lurk smoke quite yet. How are they gonna play this? Flash comes out, not gonna blind her. The shot's good for the first and not for the second. A crazy peek is gonna find it. Miri's able to get that, but Goose Speeder is hiding Goose. Traded out equally, and now all down to the Galils and the AK of Emily. It's 1v3. She knows where 1 player is at least, but the other 2 are coming in tandem right next to her.
Maria's done enough. All that she's had to do is distract Emily long enough for Vanessa and Bibi to push in from mid there. And it is lovely. Very well done. Something I really want to highlight is just this voice in the back of Marie's head, the fact that she gets that 1 pick long, and I don't think they know just how many are still over pushing towards A. I think they know that there's at least, 3 of the 4 remaining players there, or 2 of the 3 remaining players there. The fact that she gets that 1 pick long and immediately goes back up to back her teammates up on site instead of hanging around long, waiting just in case there's another player, it's just insane sense coming out there, and beautifully read from the FlyQuest lot.
Absolutely. And their spacing has been so good for both teams that they've been able to get the trades, but FlyQuest, they have been insane with their multi-kills, especially with Marie and Goose. This game has been a multi-kill aplenty for them, and with the way that they're rotating, it's hard for Ghost Gaming just to really get in anywhere quickly. Maybe we'll get something quick. Emily does not have a gun. When will she notice? When will she notice? Yep,
there we go. There it is, the run back.
Oops.
That's definitely going to put a damper on their step. However, it does mean that the team isn't pushed far enough into doors to be hit by the nade, so maybe serendipity, a miracle in disguise for them there, but Here they go, back away. And I like that Emmy's pushing further away. They've got Marie hiding, and this is a difficult angle for them to push. They've not got a flash for it either. So it's going to have to be them swinging all together and hoping that they don't get caught in their own crossfire.
Oh, the firing squad is here. Emmy is trying to help Marie out, but Ellie is sharp shooting here. 2 deagles and feeling Fly, it seems, going to be able to pick up a little bit of weaponry. Emily at least able to get it. An M4 for the constellation. But if you see here, they are kind of trapped in this spot. The flank's coming in, and there's a player, it's Goosebeater on site, that they don't really want to mess with just quite yet. They want to clear out this flank right now.
That they do. 7 Licious going to hear the shot. Actually going to get a little bit aggressive and toy with the idea of it. Ellie trying to fight forward and buy themselves somewhere, a path out of being trapped in car, which seems to be a recurring theme. Emmy gets trapped in car and this whole round starts to spiral, but now they themselves, 20 seconds left on the clock. Molotov isn't going to damage Goose, and now they've just got to run for it. And look at this, Bibi already posted up on the angle. Goose trying to cut off. They've got one either side. Here's one planting. 7 Licious has found the pick. They're not able to stop the plant. Vivian gets one, tapping away. It's Messi gets the second, but both players find their respective marks and clear it up. It's definitely Messi, and it gets a little bit closer than they would have liked, but the round nonetheless back under control and secured.
Secured indeed. Little bit messy, but they were really able to isolate Ghost Gaming into a spot where they had to fight out in brute force to be able to get that. The bomb plant comes through. The money is trickling in a bit on over to the Ghost Gaming side, and the ops coming out for Emilite.
What we like to see, and whether we're going to get another battle of the mids, are we going to see
maybe? Oh, she's going cat, it looks. Not early peeking here, but Ellie's going to be the one that's going to be early aggression out towards long, and Marie's just going to give up that space for now.
FlyQuest, they've got to realize pretty quickly that there's nothing going on towards B. If Goose goes down here, then they're in a world of trouble, but sees the utility. Are they expecting her as close as they are? They don't end up peeking off the back of this. There it is. The flash come over. Definitely startles Goose, but she backs away, chooses to head over towards the site and recuperate with her team. If you have a look at this, FlyQuest, they've cleared all of B, they've cleared all of mid, they've seen nothing, so now Marie has all of the info about the onslaught that's headed her way. Whether she's ready to deal with it, that's another matter, but the team quickly coming to surround her. There's the first pick, dancing around the smoke in the boxes. They know where she is, they've got her trapped, but the issue is they can't quite find her. 7 Licious, there's the peek out, finds Goose, and there is the reload caught by Marie, and now 3 versus 3, but 7 Licious 1 health, and that's all it takes. Emmy, random spray through the smoke, 1 bullet does the job, and now they've managed to lock them out of sight, and that bomb is in a ludicrous position, and Emmy is just going to hit shot after shot.
Nade's going to do a bit of damage, but Mira just going to have to fire dance over with this op. 2 players going to start looking, and it looks like Vanessa is going to get some low ground against her. She heard the drop, pinchered in, finds the first kill, almost the second. Just trying to peek out at this right timing. A molly out just to keep her at bay from jumping up there. Isolate the location, and the headshot's good.
Ooh, the clutches have been coming in hot and spicy today, haven't they, Apples? And it's been Ghost Gaming predominantly coming out with these immense, 1 versus 2, 3, 4 situations. And that's a difficult one. All you really have to do there, I think you just tuck in. There's 16 seconds left on the clock, and you try pay for that post plant instead. You've baited out the last of the utility. But no, they give Mira the fights, and you know what happens when you give Mira the fights?
Ooh. Give Emmy the fight.
She's ready for it every day of the week.
That's an opening pick. That's an opening pick. Hiki has the most kills on the server right now for Ghost Gaming, and she's out of the gate. The entry fragger is gone for Ghost Gaming. They have to get their wits about them now. Nade clear, not going to be completely up there for FlyQuest quite yet, but Goosebeater does not want to back out of this fight right now. She wants to catch someone. She does. She catches Mira. Could catch Emilite. She is here with backup with Marie. They're both ping-ponging back and forth, but the firing squad with the AKs are starting to mow them down. MP9 switched to USP. able to find one, and now it's a 2v2. Health on the side of FlyQuest. And they're afraid of the flank still.
It's so messy. They're all out in the open. They all get caught. One missed shot, and they're all stood in front of each other. And it's going to be little moments like that we need to see them clean up. But there's the bomb slowly retrieved. But you could tell FlyQuest, now that they've had the information cut, they know there's been definitely enough time for a rotate. And so you can have a look at them taking a peek at mid. Nothing's going to be seen. And this is just going to be them passing each other ships in the night. Who is the flank in this situation now?
Good question. I like how slowly FlyQuest have taken this. And they're already running here. Ghost Gaming, they're like, okay, we waited so long at doors. There's no way they expect this now. A goosh over. Ellie's not going to be able to do anything, but the bomb is going to get planted right at the nick of time. Spam through the smoke, just trying to get a kill. FlyQuest, they're taking this slow. They want this. They want this kill, and they find it.
Around the World does the job there, but difficult situation. I love what I saw coming out there. The smoke at the end, it's a little bit desperate, a little bit frantic. The firing of the AK is going to give away the location completely, but of course, HE doesn't blow up the smoke. She can hide for a little bit longer, but yeah, there wasn't really anywhere to reposition safely, kind of just trapped inside. But the fact that she gets the plant down is going to give her team just a tiny bit more money in a round that they desperately need it going into final round of the half.
It's like FlyQuest, they have not backed down from a battle.
Even when sometimes you think maybe they should.
Yeah. I mean, they're able to level the playing field at least. Marie switching to the USP, not trying to get out of that fight. There was no way out. Might as well switch to your sidearm and try and find that kill.
Aggressive outdoors. There's a re-smoke coming on through, and they've got these sides on lockdown. HE to blow it open, and there's Bibian with 2, and it is huge. Impactful kills. Emmy's found one of her own. Vanessa on site. They spotted both. So much damage onto one, and now Mira 19 HP. The re-smoke comes out. We'll probably, maybe be able to get a plant in the midst of all of this, but it's all just delaying it, yeah.
Nade could end it. She's getting up close and personal here. Able to find one headshot. Not expecting Bibian around the corner. Those shots can at least get some attention out here just to get Marie in position. But the shot's good for Bibian.
That's going to be 8-4 going into the half.
Still see your face.
Welcome back, one and all, for what could be potentially the last welcome back of the season here. As Ghost Gaming, they need to secure themselves this map, and specifically this pistol round if they want a chance to take this to a third and steal away this series to a third map.
Steal away, indeed. Their map pick, and now FlyQuest. Looking to go out long here. Ellie with a lot of chip damage early on. Does have a kit on her, but depends on where they all die if that's even retrievable. FlyQuest have the entire site as Ghost Gaming's just retreated here for now, and it looks like it's going to be a 5-player retake from Cat. Oh, 2 from Cat, 3 from Long. This is... Oh, 3 from Cat, 2 from Long. Gonna decide differently here. Emily and Sevenlicious going out towards, and now it's on. I feel like the clock has already ticked, but they have a lot of time to work with as the kit is still alive. But FlyQuest have now managed to get themselves into post-plant positions, and Goose Speeders all the way in pit, but 2 kills are going the way. But Vanessa is able to find a third all alone, along with Marie, 2v2, and the clock's ticking down. Ooh, the kills almost there?
Yep, and there's going to be the bomb going off. Vanessa, dangerous range, but actually does manage just to get away in time. But I think a little bit of a difficulty they had there was that when they chose to split, and you were saying it as well, you know, 3 long, wait, no, 3 cat, no, wait, 3 long, is the fact that those long players took so long to rotate round and activate that by the time that they were able to get on site, that bomb timer already so low, and they only had 1 kit available. I'd also like to point out the gun that both Vivian and Emmy are wielding. We've seen Virtus Pro at a top level use the run and gun strat, and I'm curious to see whether it's going to work again. Straight onto sight. There's damage. It's not quite a kill, not able to control the spray, and there's a lovely nade, leaves Ellie on 1 HP, but they've managed to get the sight with them.
Okay, I mean, they get the bomb plant. Goose Speeders here to clean up over in tons, but not very cleanly. Lots of damage, but the headshot coming in through Sevenlicious. This is a retake that is still viable for Ghost. They just brute force their way in here, but the P90 is still yapping from backside, and I don't think Emmy's going to slow down anytime soon.
It does not look like it. There's Vanessa with the final kill, and Ghost Gaming probably scratching their heads, wondering a little bit about the round that we just saw. It's messy. I think that's definitely the right way to put it, and a single HE grenade on either side there could have been the difference maker, but the P90s do in fact reign supreme, once again proving if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid.
And, okay, I have a question, which may make me sound like a noob, but the P90, it's technically an SMG kill as well, so it's $600 a kill with that? Or is that different?
It is an SMG. I actually don't know what the kill reward is, because I haven't used it or seen it used very often. Ellie with the FAMAS, however, is going to clean up, and they peek 1 by 1, and they die 1 by 1 at her hand, and suddenly it's just Vivian. And that bomb in a very difficult to locate situation here.
Okay, the kill reward for P90 is just 300.
I am kind of glad, because we don't need to incentivize people to use this more.
No, I like that. BB is in a hard spot here. Could be able to just do as much damage as she can over towards Ghost Gaming and their economy. Okay, that's 1. That's 2. And now it just needs 2 more. But Pikiki headshot with the new updated FAMAS is going to end it. But we got to talk about how well Ellie handled that B site hold. The early mollies and nades when she heard them all running there. Just able to hold it down with the FAMAS in corner by car. Getting a 3K for that round.
Cool, calm, collected, all of the above. Just, it's spectacular stuff. And that's what you need to be seeing, especially when you're at such a round deficit at the moment. You need to have those players who can keep a level head and step up in these moments to keep this going and to try bring this back. And that's exactly what we've seen coming out from Ellie. Now, it's a bit of a weird eco buy coming out from FlyQuest, but opening pick does not go their way, so we can breathe maybe a little bit of a sigh of relief. 7licious with 2, make that 3 through the smoke, keeps doors on lockdown, and Emmy's like, nope, I don't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I feel like we gotta... I think we're gonna just glaze past the P90 situation, right?
The P90 situation. Yeah. I think situation is the right word for it.
Because I think Emmy got a 4K with the P90.
I think it very well could have been.
I mean,
I'll be honest, it's sort of just a fever dream. Very slow here. 45 seconds. There's only 2 players on the site. The rest of the rotates are fairly far away. If you can isolate these fights, a little bit of damage onto the first, but the issue is smoke not actually going to blossom. I think maybe misnade majorly there, but the flash at least is good from Mirror, and Ellie's going to peek off the back of it. And no cheeky attempt at a plant going to come on through. Not today.
Not today, and FlyQuest with that force up now, forced into a save if they want to win with AKs in their pockets the next round. Excited to see how they do this. I have a flash on BB, and actually going to throw that on over to Goose. Oh, she's going to go off on her own adventure over towards mid as FlyQuest trail their way towards tons. Early util thrown by Ghost. Easy peasy for them so far, but I feel like the lack of information that they're gaining from FlyQuest is giving them a lot of question marks for the flash through doors. Not gonna happen, actually. Gonna change their minds here. No one is really looking towards mid except for Ellie. They could catch her on a timing. Nice dink found. Well, the blocks start to sing.
With the first Mirror chiming on in here, and it's a difficult fight to win here with the pistols and no utility. And Ghost Gaming, they are gonna survive this flawlessly, keep them penned in, and take them down. But yeah, that's you're right. There was only really one person looking towards mid, but the issue is, even though they get mid, that fight through doors, you've got to be wary about A site and B site, right? You are wide out in the open, and if you don't have a smoke to cover, you know, CT to go towards B, then you're wide open from both angles. You're taking fights with pistols, and they weren't on upgraded pistols either, which means you were at a major disadvantage at that range with those weapons. And just, you know, sitting ducks, fish in a barrel, shot one by one, and Ghost Gaming with a 7th round. They're starting to close this gap. What was a pretty hefty gap is starting to look more and more minute by the second.
No P90s from FlyQuest. Fun and games are over.
I do believe we have our first result of the day. We have Supernova Comets versus Black Mod. That is 2-0. The other matches, Nouns versus Mega Juniors has gone a third. Has it gone a third map? It might go a third map.
Ooh.
Let's get back onto the topic of this round, though, because as I'm looking at the other maps, this one's starting to get really heated.
Yeah, Ghost Gaming looking for very aggressive mid push early on. Only gonna grant them 1 kill so far, but FlyQuest, they get 3. All the lay of the land, and now all down to Ellie and Mira to pick up the pieces. As Long's gonna get taken, and so is a Scythe, but the spam through. Mira's not backing down here. Want to at least show a little bit of presence, make them a little bit nervous, but the Molly's gonna keep her away from rotating on, at least just for now.
Ellie's so far away as well. It's taken her so long to get over, and Goose is ready to meet her.
It's like they entered into this round with so much fire, and Ghost Gaming, they were not able to match FlyQuest's fire here.
Yeah, this is what we saw towards the end of Train, is just this level of firepower and aggression coming out from FlyQuest was something that Ghost didn't fully know how to deal with and how to work around. And I'm starting to worry that FlyQuest, they're ramping up for an absolutely insane finale with a similar sort of pace. And There's an 11th round, and it's getting very close to endgame here.
Thing is, Goose Gaming, with all the rounds that they've won, they've gotten a pretty good bank on their shoulders here. They were able to save a lot from that last round, so Ellie's not even going to have to invest. She's going to be able to keep that 7K going into the next, and even if they lose this one, they're going to have a pretty good buy considering, especially with the 2K AKs that they picked up. Now they're looking towards early, long aggression just to keep FlyQuest away from that spot, but with that, they give up mid. FlyQuest need to just decide what they're going to do with it. Goose Speeder going on a hunt. Trying to find something, but Sevenlish is still propped up here over towards the long doors. Hefty nade in response to Eddie Goose Speeder aggression. And just shoot out. Flash out. She's on her own journey, it seems here. FlyQuest just waiting for an opening pick from someone on the extremities, but the flash in towards mid. The smoke's not going to completely cover, but it doesn't matter. They find that first kill. Emily just trying to shoot through the smoke, trying to find something. The nade clears. Mira's not able to find one. She gets pinched in as the rest of FlyQuest just ascend into the site, and they have no reason to not go for this. They have the money, but they have no site control. They are all on the other side. They put all their eggs into one basket, and that was long.
Yeah, difficult to come back into this, as you said. Too far removed from the situation, no map control, and actually, looks like FlyQuest, they are not particularly happy to let Emily keep hold of that AWP. They loved last map, knowing that they were at a weapons advantage every round. Actually, lovely crossfire established here. Biggie Kiki gets one, but the issue they're going to have is Emily. And now ducks down. And they can just keep nading her down here.
Ooh, what a shot from Marie.
Oh, and
that's the op out of the hands. That's the op out of the hands.
And 12. That would have been a lifeline in this round because they're not going to be able to buy it back in. So they have to do this with just the rifles. And even then, going to be seeing a couple of Deagles, potentially some MP9s. No, it's just going to be Piggy Kiki here on this Deagle.
Sacrificing the money just for these rifles. They need to be able to get something just to crawl back. Not as much as a crawl back as Train was, but they're going to be aggressive with it. Quickly into mid, but mid is a blender for FlyQuest. 2 players down just like that in an instant. They are punished for their aggression, and Ellie going back in, trying to at least find an angle that she could find to take something off of them. Kiki gonna at least possibly pick up a rifle from one of her teammates. Beyond's too quick with it. The headshots are right there, and the trade doesn't come through. All down to Mira, 1v5.
Burst, but there it is. Emmy, long distance with the sniper, is going to close out their final series of the online stage, 13-7. And in absolute style, mind you.
Absolutely. Stylish indeed. It seems FlyQuest not going to be